Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to the Siliou universe and welcome back to Violet Tourbillon. Today we're going to be talking about characters. So we're going to go into the sprites, which are based on planet Janjuc. And I don't want to mention too much about a civil war, but we will be looking into Levon in particular, who is a character that we meet in our companion novel, Darayan. So the sprites are a varied type of culture, or have a varied type of culture. They have parts of the culture believe a certain belief, and other parts of the culture believe different beliefs. And because of that, they have a lot of debate going on internally about obviously who's right, who's not right, who should they support as a complete race, and whether they should support at all. Should they just be as they are without having an actual religion or an actual belief structure set to the people. So they don't necessarily train in aura. You will find out more about that, but generally they don't have aura. They follow, some of them follow Silkery, so they look to ways of Silkery. They actually don't, they can't utilize the Silkery, but they may be able to use some type of aura, depending if they want to dabble in becoming an archmage or anything. But they are not obviously necromancers, but they still can go into that aura as well. So we do meet Levon, who is, Chastity's, Queen Chastity is the young queen of Janjuc. So she is what they call Queen of the Marble Castle, because that's where obviously she lives. Her father's recently passed away, and Levon is the character who has always protected that family, and now he subsequently has to protect Chastity as well. So he's not necessarily someone that wants to be in the position that he's in. He obviously had a great relationship with her father, but then as he's having this relationship with Chastity, he's kind of second guessing, she's in AA years, she's only 17, she's never obviously led a whole group of people, let alone a small group of people before. So yeah, he's having a hard time coming to terms with her appointment to power. We also do meet alongside Levon Lyra. So she is another sprite on Janjuc in the sprite world. She is another warrior like Levon, who is set to protect Queen Chastity as well. So I will do an extract. Again, I don't want to give too much away because I'm getting used to the spoiler alerts. I have to say spoiler alert, but I'm trying not to give anything away right now. All right, now if I have my little thing, where is it? All right. All right, so chapter 10, an unsuspecting camaraderie. Thanks, darling. I can hear you in the background. While the Queen's men were preparing an army to defend her castle, Levon abruptly left the dismal morning briefing, and much to his dismay, the convoy of Kinsman Rangers joined him, Lyra keeping a close watch over him. It was bad enough he had to show some type of sympathy towards the Rangers in front of Chastity, but Owen and his men wouldn't stop asking questions as they ventured outside the castle, away from the battle-ready sprites and the castle stronghold, toward the Jejova Trail. Some small convoy they were, and exactly what Levon was expecting them to do, he had no idea. But if they cut off what of the south they could assist the castle in taking the full brunt of the attack. And having multiple trained aura users on their side, he guessed wouldn't hurt. The south had been training in the ways of the Silkery for seasons. They would be no match for all of them, but if they could pick off a few talented sprite mages, one by one, it was a start. I'm going to stop there because it does get into a little bit about the Kinsman Rangers, which is the Valandine, which will be the next conversation that we have that we'll talk about. But yeah, so that's Levon. He is very much a reluctant leader, and not that he's a leader, because Queen Chastity has asked him before to be her general and to kind of guide the troops and the Sprite army as to, the internal conflict with this belief system that they're having on Janjuc. He's been not only reluctant, he has been very much you know, just said he's been against it. He's said no each time that she's asked him. So she has a lot of other types of ministers and, you know, people constantly talking to her and different types of priests and stuff, trying to tell her what to do, you know, what direction she should take. So she's quite the, you know, she's the young queen and she's trying to grasp how to lead. And yeah, Levon isn't the best help. He does obviously have that great relationship with Lyra. He's an extremely talented fighter. So merit is based on skill, and he is extremely skilled with the blade, and therefore obviously people admire Levon because of the fact that he is extremely talented. But yeah, the sprites are definitely not your average like a fairy sprite. I'd probably say they're more warrior sprites. So they definitely do have the, I'm just trying to think if I've got a photo of Levon. Or it's up on the quizzes actually. If you jump into the quizzes, you'll see Levon. He's the paler, obviously they're pale skin, and you'll see his ears as well. You know, the sprite looking ears. And they're very much, he's actually, so they're very much battle oriented, but he is efficient in archery. So there's bow and arrow. He's amazing with it as well. They are definitely a accepting people. So he obviously, under the previous king or Chastity's father's rule, they were always accepting of a lot of different types of people. It's only since she's decided to take over and her inexperience therefore leads other people to question the ways in which it's always been done, and should we create say Moel or one of the other beliefs as something that the whole world only supports. So they definitely have a lot of internal battles going on as a people, but I say generically or generally, the sprite people are very warm, very kind, and very strong-willed as well. But yeah, that patriotism, like Levon's blind patriotism, sometimes can cost them how loving they really are. So even though they come across that way, accepting and loving, sometimes that hate and, you know, the hate, the blind patriotism, when you're not really sure what you're fighting for anymore, it kind of gets lost or blurred in between the lines as well. So yeah, I do love Levon. He is, again, I don't have one favorite character. They're all my favorite characters, but I do have a real soft spot for him. He is he's gifted. Again, he's probably similar to, say, maybe Prince Adi, in the sense that he's slightly misunderstood and kind of a confusing character, because when we do meet him, actually no, we meet him in book 1 as well, but when we meet him properly, like in Darayan, because obviously the first part of Darayan, part 1 is book 1 and 2, the same timeline, so you kind of see where he like had come from to be where he is. So yeah, it's interesting. He is a cherished character, definitely. And also, if you have got there is a character profile on him, obviously with I'm chatting about now, but also if you do fill out the quiz, you can find out if you would be a sprite or if you would be Levon as well, and his amazing ability in the Siliou, which you will find out about the more you read. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Again, any questions on Levon, any questions on any of the characters? Next week, we're going to be doing, I should say the next video, we're going to be doing the Valentine. So we'll chat about Owen and also his kinsman rangers, the 4 of them, Raphael, Nash, Everett, and Talon, which they're quite close, or a close-knit group. And we also do meet them in Darayan. So I'll be chatting about them next video. All right, guys, if you haven't already, purchase the deluxe package on the website, violettoabillion.com. I'll sign them all for you and we'll send them out. Don't forget there's $10 off until the 11th. And if that has expired, there could be another offer on as well. All right, guys, well, have a good day. And as always, vector safely.